And ladies, gentlemen, and our fine people of the world, welcome back to 4Digits Mania World Cup 2023. I am currently trying to calm down. I am actually streaming the showcase as well as commentating. My name is Patiraj. Alvin is in vacation right now, but we are still here to provide you with some more content. This is the semifinals showcase, and this time I'm gonna be commentating with a newcomer in this commentating scene. Well, 4DM commentating scene anyway. Apple, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing good. I haven't commentated for this 40M yet. I believe I commentated a bit last year, but this is my first time doing it for 40M 2023, and I'm really excited to be here. That video, I wonder who the girl is that they were referring to. Um, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like this lore just keeps giving. I am always impressed by what Polytetral and all of the media center community has to offer. And well, I haven't seen this video before setting it up, to be honest. So yeah.
Yeah, the media center team has been really going crazy this year. I know. I think especially even last year, I thought it was really impressive to have like these newspaper-esque, but now they have actual interviews. They have these high-quality videos, and it's really amazing to see how much like we've evolved, I guess.
Yeah.
But without further ado, I think we can move on to the map pool, right?
Yeah, if I can find my windows, I can at least guide you through the process of actually making a showcase. I actually lost my window where my replays were at. Good job, me.
Nice.
Wait 1 second.
Yeah. Showcases are very hard to actually set up, I know from experience. I being not only just a commentator, I also do stream as well as do some playtesting, which is why I'm here. And just starting us off with our first pick, it is going to be Rice 1 Rhythm Me by Space Electro beat Shiki Reku.
Yes, indeed, that is going to be our jump stream. And that is going to be 232.2 BPM. That is about 10 BPM faster than last round. And that's really putting the emphasis on physicality.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think especially when testing these maps, I was really struggling on just physicality alone. I think especially on this map, since it's actually quite long for 230 being 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I know this first part, there's a little break, and here it is. You should be able to do that pretty well, but after this, it's just straight jump stream, hand trails, and all these different patterns that are just like kind of coming at you for basically the entirety of the 2 minutes, and it's so stamina draining towards the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Last round in quarterfinals, you had Blockbuster, which provided a lot of split trills and so on. This is kind of in the same alley, but it is kind of different because, well, this is more in the style of Lane. Thank you, by the way, Lane, for providing us with a 1.35 rate.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy how we're already at 230 BPM, only being in quarterfinal or semifinals. So I can't imagine what those grand finals and finals maps are gonna look like, especially just BPM wise here. We have a slight bit of a break, but it's nothing really, especially just because we kind of get back into it decently quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And those breaks might actually be the the impending doom of some people who might be choking in breaks. I feel like a lot of people have really high tension in tournament situation and are prone to missing breaks or down kind of slower sections.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been seeing as well. Even throughout the matches, a lot of people have actually been kind of sometimes missing right before the break, you know, as the song is climaxing a bit. But also during the break as well, maybe just off the nerves. And as we're saying that, Leon here misses.
Yeah, and as you can see, like, this is not a joke. This is very stamina draining, and Leon, as ET as he is, cannot sustain that forever. And those split trills and this ending is just the icing on top of the cake. And those bursts, you really have to be careful to maintain your accuracy and not choke.
Yeah, I think last round we were seeing some, I think 991s, 992s on Blockbuster, but I highly doubt we're going to be seeing very consistent 3-ways of FCs. And like even 991s. I think we're going to be seeing a lot less 990s in this map pool.
Yeah, for sure. Like, we can see some nice ratios, but we're going to be expecting a lot more misses from teams from now on.
Yeah.
And anyways, we're gonna go into Rise 2, the speed-oriented pick, and I believe you did this replay, so you can talk about it.
Yeah, I did. This is obviously the speed replay, and it's just this map is really brutal throughout. Let's just start it up. I personally, I'm not too great at speed. I think I'm at least decent. I probably am around the 40M peak, or not really necessarily peak, more high end of the middle range. But I really did struggle on this map, especially the later half. It gets super dense, and you'll see even this like this intro speed section is decently fast, and I kind of found myself getting a few 200s just on it randomly sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely no joke. And by the way, thank you, Isoka Satapuya, for uploading this specifically for this tournament.
Yeah, thank you to them. And here we're going to start on the speed. And I think, especially this map being 2 minutes and 48 seconds, like sometimes speed can get harder and harder to read just because you kind of lose concentration as the map goes on. And I definitely found myself doing that personally. And as a result, I think we'll see later on, I get like a kind of dirty miss. So that is something that is very possible for quite a few of the teams.
Yeah, in terms of patterning, like, this is coming from sets with rivals, so we see a fair amount of technicality in terms of streams, but it is fairly straightforward in terms of snaps, at least, so you can at least get some grip on how to hit this.
Yeah, I think if you're a speed main, I guess we could say, yeah, there's my first miss. It's not just the only one, but yeah, if you're a speed main, you're probably going to be decently comfortable on this. It's mainly going to be how well you can play this ending, since the density actually ramps up a slight bit, just because the song gets a bit more intense, and it makes sense.
Yeah, it just makes sense. Like, this is definitely a step up from last round's speed, which was gas. Like, gas was very fast, but it was very straightforward in terms of patterning. But this is it might be a little bit trilly. Just correct me if I'm wrong, but it might be a little bit more trilly, more heavily in some places.
Yeah, I kind of agree, especially a bit more in this last section. Sometimes, I'm going to be honest, I was kind of manipulating some of these patterns. I think especially at the end. But one thing I do want to say is that if you're going to be getting one miss, it's going to be dirty. And it's like 100%. If you're missing, you're going to miss again. And as we see that, I get 2 misses in a row. Just because of these random misreads, really. Yeah,
no, this is no joke. We're fully expecting many misses from all teams involved, even in the winners bracket, I feel like. And this is going to be... I feel like the top liners of each team are going to be just still managing this this pick. But it's going to be up to the second and third player of the lineup to come up with some ideas to kind of recover, do damage control.
Yeah, definitely. I think especially on this map, we'll see a lot wider ranges just on its own.
Okay, so this one we were actually debating whether to use 1.0 or 1.05. This is stamina.
Yeah, I think I played this map personally on 1.0, and I was really struggling on this map alone, and I saw that it was on the map pool at 1.05, so it was kind of crazy to me that people are able to play this like super well. And it being a stamina map, it's 3 minutes, so it's kind of like the first two maps in length. But I really think these jacks just add just a bit more pressure onto the stamina drain, because you're kind of using different muscles. You're using more than just like your hands, I guess. You're really using your like arms as well, and that just really adds a layer to the stamina drain.
Yeah, in terms of physicality, I can actually play this pick. Like, this is one of the few. This is one of the few picks I was actually able to manage because it is a bit lighter in terms of physicality at 1.0, but it is. Let me check. 3 minutes and 4 seconds long.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like it's not necessarily just the time. It's really the patterning on this map. We see quite a few of these are like decently anchory, I'd say. So there's that layered onto the streams as well in between everything.
Yeah, definitely something interesting to incorporate into the strategies of each team. This is definitely something that some teams might be able to aim for accuracy on, and maybe just generally consistency. And this is where some teams might opt for a combo strategy, and some other teams might have actually to push accuracy on.
Yeah, and obviously pushing accuracy really just leads to more misses in general, especially just because of the length of this map. So I hope we see quite a few interesting matches. I know, like in Team Singapore versus USA, we saw in a lane, I believe. We saw, I guess, a bit more combo versus accuracy game right there, and I feel like we'll be seeing more of that on this map specifically, especially on the losers bracket, just because some of them may not be as well versed on this kind of physicality or just like these kind of patterns in general, since I don't feel like we've seen too much of this as of recently.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta check the MP links for your opponents in quarterfinals. Like we saw that many teams in quarterfinals already started dipping in terms of physicality, especially towards the second and third players. So it might be good information to gather in terms of whether your opponent team is gonna be scaling or not on this semifinals pool.
Yeah, definitely. But we will be coming into the end of this map. We just have some little long jacks, so just to keep you on your toes.
Yeah, not gonna
Yeah, that is
lie.
it.
Yeah, not
Uh-huh.
gonna lie. This is kind of a low-key banger.
I was actually thinking the same thing. I really like the songs in these pools. Like, it's not just your standard rhythm game music, just like the EDM, all these different like kind of random songs. Actually, speaking of Take Me Higher here, your kind of EDM.
Mhm.
Also a banger in my opinion. I did this replay personally. It had the one miss. I'm actually decently proud of this play. My one miss is kinda in a random place, so it doesn't count in my head.
Yeah. By the way, for the previous pick, we gotta thank Leo for actually uploading the separate map set instead of just using the big. I don't remember which pack it was coming from, but yeah. Anyways, this is a custom map from Zeta, and Zeta actually has uploaded 1.0 on their own account, Biosphere, and they have given us permission to upload this to use 1.05 for the tournament.
Yeah, I really like this song personally. As soon as I saw that it was in the map pool, I like instantly added it to my playlist. I really like the song. It really, I guess, takes me back a bit. But you know, we'll see. This intro is a bit light, but we definitely will see a lot more mini jacks in this map. I think that's one of the main difficulties that I found myself having.
Yeah, this custom actually was. I don't think Zeta actually was aiming for semifinals in the first place, which kind of explains the rates in the first place. But this chorus just goes hard.
It really does. And I think it's really, really satisfying to play this map in general. So I hope people are going to be excited to be able to play this. I think some of these one-handed trills are just so fun to play in general. And I found myself like constantly wanting to play this over and over again. And it actually reminds me of a map in the next pool. So be excited for that.
Yeah. We got more of that coming for sure. And yeah, the thing is, you saw that quadruple mini jag. That is kind of the technical spice of this pick. But let me tell you the results of my testing. I almost got an FC on 1.0. And but 1.05, going from 1.0 to 1.05, I genuinely lost 40k.
Oh my god.
This
yeah, I can definitely see that.
This map doesn't scale. This map scales differently.
It is like insane just because as we saw, that one quad jag is just insane. And I can't imagine that on any higher rates. And like there's just these mini jacks all over the place, as well as the trills that I've been saying, and those really have just scaled really poorly, I guess. Not really poorly, just really terribly. I can't say any other word. I don't know any other way to explain it. But here we are into the last section of the map. We had a little bit of a break.
Yeah, just a little bit of a break, but yeah, this section is incredibly fun when you can play it. Like, I was really having fun on 1.0, and to some extent you might be able to manip this, but I don't know if I particularly recommend it in a tournament situation.
Yeah, especially just because you can kind of combo rush a lot of these sections if you do manip it, especially those trills. And that's not what you want to have happen, since if you combo rush, you kind of get like 1% down, 0.5%. It's a lot. So we now see the ending, a bit more of these mini jacks that we saw throughout the map.
Yeah, and it is also quite long. Like, this is 3 minutes and 47 seconds, so this might actually be the second stamina pick of some sorts. But the breaks that the song gives you doesn't actually put too much of a strain on you, so this is why this is more of a mixed rice pick.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I didn't find myself really losing all too much stamina on this map specifically. It was mainly just kind of nerves that became an issue, but it isn't too big.
Yeah, for sure. And now for the best map of the Mappool. Let's go. This is my favorite map of the Mappool, low-key. This map is so good.
I think we were talking yesterday about the map pool, and really, I remember you being so happy about this. And I played this basically immediately after. And yeah, I kind of agree. This map is really fun to play, as well as the song's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, Latex, Born to Lose. I put this on loop many times when I was... I actually featured this in a French national, so I actually was already aware of this pick, and I think also the Philippines might have used a raid of it.
Possibly. I can't remember those map pools off the top of my head. But what I do want to say on this map specifically is that we're seeing these mini jacks right now, and I feel like, similar to Take Me Higher, these mini jacks, especially coupled in with the transitions in this map, because this map really has a bunch of different patterns layered onto each other, and just transitioning from one pattern to another is really, really difficult. I found myself getting 200s, if not misses, on just these transitions alone, just because of how weird they are to play, I guess.
Yeah. In terms of coordination, this is actually way more coordination demanding than Take Me Higher, I feel like. Take Me Higher does put a fair amount of emphasis on physicality and just putting the dumps and the mini jacks and so on. This has a lot more emphasis on the mini jacks, just as any... how do you pronounce this name? Trouble? Trouble?
I think it's Trouble.
Trouble, yeah. In any Trouble map.
Yeah, Cherbil being quite known for what is that song called? Feel Left Out. So if you've played that map, this map is decently similar to that. We do see a break, and this is a break to where you have to see, or not really have to, but you will most likely be seeing the opponent's score. So that can bring nerves out for quite a few players. If they're seeing that the leads are close, if you miss, it'll be very devastating for you. And the second half also is just this kind of the same way as the first, but with nerves, it's just I feel like it'll be insane to play, and it'll be super super stressful.
Yeah, especially this interaction here. It's pretty chokeable because it is actually kind of repeating, albeit in mirroring aspects. But yeah, this is kind of more the same as the first half, and this just puts an emphasis once again on consistency. This is, I feel like this is the third 3-minute pick in the pool.
Yeah, this rice pool has been decently long, but I mean, I think the maps are fun, so I hope people do enjoy it. Maybe instead of like playing all the maps at once, maybe slice up the map pool into pieces, play them as the week goes by, or whenever you have time. But we will be coming to the end of this map, just continuing to see these mini jacks as well as streams just all over the place.
Yeah, well, this map, like, it's incredibly fun. It's like one of my favorites. It might actually be my favorite from Trouble.
Ooh. Hopefully, other people agree. I think they will.
Have good taste. Hopefully, maybe.
Have good, yeah. You must like this map.
Just kidding.
All right, and here is our last rice map. It is going to be Battle Frenzy Dance by Sakuzo. I cannot speak.
Sakuzio, yeah.
Yes,
And
Sakuzo.
yeah, it's gonna be a convert from Xingyue. Thank you, Xingyue, by the way, for providing us with this. And this is gonna be Cortex. It's 135 BPM, and this is not exactly straight chord jacks as you've seen in the last pool. We had China, which is very long jacky and anchory. This has a lot of spice added to it as well in the name of those string transitions and so on. This is pretty spicy.
Yeah, those stream transitions can definitely catch you out on a first run or two if you're just not expecting it, because really in your head when you know it's a jack pit, you're really going to be using like your arms mostly, and I feel like streams really use different kind of muscles, so you may be able to like drop or maybe get a few 200s because of it. But added on, I feel like this map is quite long jacky. As we saw their intro, we saw quite a few, I guess, I guess they're two-handed long jack, where there's like 4 notes back to back, but only on 2 fingers. I think those are chords. I don't remember exactly. Pataraj, you're a mapper. You know what I'm talking about.
Sorry, I was raising the volume of the stream while you were talking, so I didn't pay attention.
Don't worry. Well, yeah, we see quite a few long jacks, and here is even more basically. And I feel like this is gonna be kind of an act map for some players, especially the like best player on every team. It's gonna be a decent act-based map, since 130 chord jack, I feel, especially for really good chord jack mains.
Yeah,
because everyone's kind of just cracked on chord jacks nowadays.
yeah,
it's kind of a walk in the park.
yeah. About chord jack mains, like the chord jack mains, the hardcore chord jack mains might actually have trouble in the previous section where all the jump stream bursts happened, because well, as someone who is somewhat chord jack oriented, I had much trouble on the jump stream bursts myself.
I see. Well, I think another thing that I guess focusing more on non-chord jack mains like myself, I think seeing that this is 3 minutes and 30 seconds, 135 chord jack, really, I guess, makes people not necessarily want to pick this map, just because of the stamina drain that can happen, just because of how much stamina chord jack takes. I know I was playing some chord jacks today, and I think like halfway through a map, I was absolutely dying, just because I didn't have enough stamina to play it. And I think that may be what happens here. We'll see quite a few like or not really transitions, but quite a few lead flips for some of the matches just because of stamina drain.
Yeah. Speaking of stamina drain, actually, this last section is actually the most stamina draining, the most dense of the map. And every time I play this map, like, I'd be fine. I have 99.2 up until this point, and right from this point, I dropped to 97 because I don't have enough stamina left.
Yeah, going from these doubles to triples are definitely quite difficult, just because you've played the entire map before, and now you're here at the last section, the most pinnacle of the song, and you're just gonna be playing with very low stamina in general. So that, and we saw let me see who did this replay. Whoever did this replay did mess up quite a bit. They got the 50s and 100s and 200s actually at the end.
Might be Adam Ackerville. I'm not absolutely sure.
I think so.
Yeah, because they renamed to something else that I'm not pronouncing on stream. Anyways, let's go to the hybrids. And this is going to be the custom from the Funk Flying Castle.
Ooh, I think this is our second custom for this pool, correct?
I only had a custom from Zeta, and we had, yeah, actually. I think that is the second custom, yeah.
Cool. I think there are more customs in the later half of the map pool, so that's good to see. But yeah, this map, I personally found myself having, I guess, more, or seeing a bit more distinction from this half and the next quarter, and then the later half of the map. And I feel like in this half, or this quarter of the map, we see a lot more LN-based maps, or LN-based sections, and as we see here, a lot of really awkward releases, really weird snappings, I guess, can throw some people off guard.
Yeah, like this LN section is no joke, but like this is density at 174 BPM. This does require a fair amount of coordination to get correctly.
Yep. And now we hear, or now from what I saw, there was a bit of a switch more over to the right section. And yeah, here's the streams that I was thinking of that can definitely screw some people up if they're not very comfortable at this speed.
Yeah, you might find this a fair amount of, oh, those mini jacks. Like the mini jacks are probably the most abrasive part about the rise in this map. But this map is quite long node leaning. Does have a fair amount of LN elements that LN oriented teams can use against their opponents.
Yeah. However, I don't think it's just the LNs that can be difficult. I think it's really these shields, which I guess count as LN and Rice. Those shields can really screw up some people if they aren't expecting it, as well as kind of the transitions between things here. We see a bit more hand streams as well as LN, and really this section is kind of a mesh of the intro.
Yeah, but it is the apex of the song. And you really do not want to choke in the ending. It might matter less than if you miss in the middle, but still, losing a point in the ending is going to be heartbreaking. It has happened in quarterfinals. It might happen again in semifinals.
Yeah, it's, I think, a common thing for people to lose at the ending. But now, time for Hybrid 2. We saw also, I just want to add, that last map was a shorter map, so if you're waiting for those, that's where it is.
Yep. Let's go into Alex Dunks. Don't worry, this is gonna be way more technical than Flying Castle. And for those of you who didn't like Angel Echo, well, guess what? We've got more.
Yeah, this map is very interesting in my eyes. I think it definitely works as a tournament pick. However, we will see quite a few like really, really difficult sections just to play in the later half with really, really weird starts and releases. And that's a bit of an intro with these LNs being kind of awkward just to play, get good accuracy on.
Yeah, this part is funny. This part is very fun to play, by the way. It's just the build-up, though. But it is not the main part of the song at all.
Nope, the main part goes like, it's insane, and here we go. Here's the section that I'm thinking of. We have some of these reverse shields right after the LNs, which can definitely screw up a few players. I think I found myself finding one or two misses on just this section alone.
Yeah, this is not even the worst. Like, yeah, this is one of the most abrasive patterns of the song, of this map.
This map is actually really disgusting to play. I think as soon as I finish the map, my first thought was like, I feel like teams are not going to really pick this, just because it's really 50-50 on whether you miss or not on this map. On that section alone, I feel. And here, it's so much worse.
Yeah, it just keeps going. It just keeps going. You see a lot of Doritos, like semi-Doritos, you might call them.
I hope people pick this map. I really want to see like how intense this is. This kind of reminds me of Testify and MWC, where it's like really weird releases that just everyone will most likely be breaking on. And here we see our little break, very similar to, I think, Rice 5. Yes, Rice 5. Where nerfs can come into play, especially if you're FCing this map. Maybe it's a fluke run that you're having, and you see your opponent and you are basically at the same score, so if you miss, it'll be really brutal. And I feel like at that point, it'll be hell to play.
Like, this might feel less abrasive than Angel Echo, which is perhaps a relief, because Angel Echo was a pick that was very much avoided by all teams. So making it a bit less abrasive is probably a good idea. Well, this map was already made beforehand by Alex Dunk, who allowed us to use this in this tournament. By the way, thank you, Alex Dunk.
Thank you to him, and now we're seeing this last build-up come up. Only about an eighth of the map left. Some streams as well as cord jacks layered onto these LNs.
Yeah, just some more releases, way more staggers. Like, staggers is the name of this pick, I feel like. And, well, staggers not only in terms of releases, but also in terms of price, like the graces are just going everywhere.
Yes, that is, I definitely agree with that. This map is just stagger heaven all over the place. You can't really, I feel like this map is the easiest one to manip necessarily, and you won't be as punished too hardly. But I don't know whether it's too great of an idea.
Yeah, in any case, this pick is 3 minutes and 39 seconds long. Nice miss.
Poor Leon.
Yeah, this is another 3 minutes, like longer than 3 minute long pick, and this is also putting the emphasis on consistency, and getting good consistency on this kind of pick is really hard.
Yeah, I think some players may, I guess, not want to feel. I feel like players shouldn't be pressured to be FCing these maps. I think if our replayers aren't pressured, then maybe they shouldn't either. And now we see our last hybrid 3. It'll be Abendo by R, mapped by Eclipse.
Yeah, this is actually a remap. This is a remastered version of Eclipse's Abendo. By the way, thank you, Eclipse, for remastering this basically on demand, as we were looking for a hybrid that fits the general difficulty curve of our tournament.
Yeah, thank you to them once again. And I think if Hybrid 1 was our LN focused map, I feel like Hybrid 3 is more of our Rice focused map, this being more leaning into the speed section, as well as some jacks all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely. The first half of this pick is going to be entirely Rice-based, and if you're waiting for the long notes, well, then they're in the second half.
Yeah, though I feel like some of the long notes in this map aren't as intrusive as some of the other picks, so I think if you're a Rice-leaning team, if for some reason you don't feel too comfortable on a specific Rice map or two, I think Hybrid 3 is really just your go-to to play, just because some of the LN teams may struggle a bit on physicality.
Yeah, this is a fair amount lighter in physicality than some of the Rice picks, so this might be a relief for some of the teams that do not scale as well as some other teams, that might be able to aim for good accuracy on if they can actually act this next long note section.
Yes, and here we see a very distinct difference in the beginning and this last quarter. This being, as you did say, the long note section, we see so many long notes and so much less rice in this section.
Yeah, this is very clear cut in terms of rice, then LN, then hybrid. This is the hybrid part.
Yes, and I think that should be the end. I don't think there's anything else in the map besides that last stream section.
Yeah, this is towards some of the shorter picks in the pool.
Yeah, I think Hybrid 1 was also around this time, so I
yeah,
guess
it was also short. Yeah,
I don't remember exactly, but
I think it was less than 2 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool. Now moving on to the next map pool in quotes. It is going to be Miku aimbot, QB, sank by, not really sank by, made by Hull.
Yeah, just Mikoen, but thank you very much for providing us with basically their mapping debut in terms of tournament mapping, and we are very pleased to have them on board in the mapping community.
Yeah, I was kind of hesitant to play this pick or play this map in general when I first saw that it was mapped by Miku aimbot because I feel like I'm a bit biased. But when I played it, I thought this map was really good. I found it really fun to play. So it's the more release oriented map, as you do see right now. Yeah. A lot of these releases being, I guess, a bit more staggered, a bit more random in quotes, not actually random, but they are quite a bit harder than some of the other maps in the pool.
Yeah, I feel like this is not only release oriented, but very coordination demanding. This is kind of a mix of release and coordination, and I found myself to be very much struggling in terms of coordination and actually keeping combo on this pick. And this kind of reminds me of Drago's Raymay, actually. That's pretty much the same vibes.
Yeah, I definitely agree. We do see now that I feel like there's always a note being held on this map, even with like a stream happening. And that really just adds a bit more to the coordination of this map in general. And this map is quite short, so misses can affect players quite a bit, and especially just because of the nature of LN picks being, you kind of get multiple misses or like 200s as a result of it.
Yeah, you're gonna drop a lot of bad judgments in this part in particular. Like, I feel like the ending is very hard to coordinate, and there's a tiny bit of density as well in those bursts, but not too much. We try to pull the focus towards the coordination part of the map pool, and this is why this is an edit rather than the original.
Yep. And I think especially seeing that Miku aimbot 991, some of these LN players may be a bit scared, especially knowing how good Miku is. And I also struggled quite a bit. I don't think I passed 990. I think I was very close though. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, like Mappool is a good LN player, just trust his word.
All right, now onto the next map. This is Castles by Jellyfish. Now this is it says that it's a Miku map, but it's actually a how to play a LN edit, I believe, or cut.
Yeah, it is. I guess a cooperation between mappers, and basically, yeah. Since we have the mappers on board, we can ask them for permission to edit stuff here and there, and we've done that a couple of times.
Yeah, and to me, this map is why it's not necessarily backloaded. It's like the second half is really the map here. Right now, it's just the build up necessarily. We see our replayer doing really well, but they definitely will start to struggle in the second half just because of how dense this map is in general.
Yeah, absolutely. This is pretty much the density-oriented pick, but it does take a little bit of time to settle in, and we're already at the third of the map. This is a very short pick, all things considered. This is very focused in one section, actually.
Yes. It definitely is. It's something that I noticed in the map. And here's a section, and I feel like this map just goes insane once it does start. And I'm trying to think. I tried to do a replay on this, but I was struggling a bit. And though, I think it was mainly because of how like as it is, there's so much that you have to keep focus on. I was struggling, I guess, to keep a bit of focus and get really good act on this map. So, you know, I think that it really goes to show just how hard this map is.
Yeah, this is actually non-stop. It starts and just doesn't stop until the end. This is kind of sadistic, actually.
Yeah, and we do see a bit of a transition at this section, but I feel like this section is also really hard. I found myself getting quite a few 200s on it alone.
Yeah, the bursts are not intuitive.
Yes, that especially. And I think I started off that section at like somewhere around 300, 320 300s, and then end at like 400 something. And it's just really, really hard to get good ratio on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And wow, that is actually a Logan replay.
Yep, our first Logan replay, I believe.
Yeah, shout out to Logan.
Thank you for hosting the tournament. It has been a blast. But that's it for LN2. Time for LN3. Rolling Beat by Mitsukiyo, mapped by Chu.
Yeah. You can almost say that this entire long note pool is almost custom. It's not quite custom because we have castles, but it does feel like a completely custom
Two
LN pool.
customs and a half.
Yeah, 2 customs and a half. 2.5. Yeah, 2.5. Yeah.
Yeah, and I really like this map personally. There was an edit. The first section was inverse, and personally, I wasn't a huge fan of it, so I complained a lot. I'm happy that it got changed. Thank you, Chu. And because of it, I really, really like this map. It's a wild card, and you'll definitely see quite a few coordination elements as well as density, as we see right here, just throughout the map.
Yeah, absolutely. We see a fair amount of a mix of density inverses in releases, and this kind of goes to complement the 2 other picks.
Yes, I think this is definitely a really, really good LN3, especially seeing LN1 and LN2. It's basically a combination, a straight combination of the 2 maps, which is really good to see. And this is Leon's replay, by the way, if anyone's wondering. I also want to add, this map being OD 7.5 actually makes it quite difficult to get really good accuracy on you. I feel like you'll find yourself getting kind of random 200s just because of it.
Yeah, absolutely. We see a lot of staggers, kind of baiting the 200 coming out of your fingers, and the mini jacks, the shield, and all the interactions that this map demands just asks to lower your accuracy continuously.
Yep, and that was sort of a break from all of like the density, and now we should be getting into actual density again. But I really feel like that middle section isn't necessarily a break. There's just so much happening throughout this entire map. It's really going to be a test of how good you are at basically any kind of LN pattern, which is good to see.
Yeah, this is kind of a repeat of the first drop, but it is going to settle into the ending, and this is not too long of a pick. This is 2 minutes and 28 seconds.
Yep, and this should be it. Nothing really is here, but you will definitely have to be focusing on accuracy since some of these trills can lead to a few 200s. And there we go. Leon, not actually 990, very, very close though.
Yeah, very close. Leon is very much ET. And shoutouts to the second, technically the second Blue Archive custom. I think the first one's Skip Mishoko by Blue Blazing.
Yep. I guess we just really like Blue Archive here. But it's time for me to basically be over. It's time for us to move into our SV maps. Raj, you're a huge SV fanatic. I'm not as much. I'm trying to get into it myself.
Yeah.
Why don't you move into this for me?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just go into the full meal course, as you can see in the background. This is going to be our swing. Yes, we have more swing for you. Don't complain, please. It is a circumstance. It is pretty much a coincidence that we're getting swing every single time, to be fair. I didn't even anticipate this, but this is pretty much the swing reading oriented SV.
I think I was talking to a few players, and they were really just talking about how there's basically a swing category in 40M, and I guess here it is. We'll try our best to continue it. Though I don't know whether this is true.
Yeah, like this is kind of a mixed, actually. This is kind of a mixed pick in terms of reading and memorization, but this is very reading oriented. I feel like you still gotta go into the editor and see what the snaps are to kind of figure out accuracy, especially. I feel like the full combos are gonna be easy to get somewhat, but the accuracy is gonna be the hardest thing to get. This afternoon, we were three players trying to grind for the 990k. None of us actually got the 990k. There was me, there was Claren, and there was Punish, who actually joined us after the German defeat.
Yeah, that was really funny to see. I just saw Punish join, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna just stop this SV map from like overthrowing us or something." Sadly, he doesn't get it. Spoilers: 898 or 9889 at least. I feel like these LN releases are definitely going to be quite a struggle for some players. I know I've been playing a map this week with LN releases, and it's been super hard just because some players play on Percy, and it can be quite difficult just to know exactly when to release.
Yeah, absolutely. And the combination of slow jams and long notes, it's just kind of nightmarish. It is why LNSV is so infamous in the community. And this pick is going to be ending with a very, very calm 0.8 slow jam. Nothing to cry about. Gonna let you recover a bit of accuracy to get a better score.
Yeah, I think this is really not too bad, especially the past few SV maps that they've played. Any SV player should be very, very comfortable in this, I feel. But
yeah, just very sweet. Yeah, it's gonna be SV1. Very, very good song choice as well. When I encountered this song choice, when this was proposed in the customs channel, I was like, wow, this is a banger.
Yeah, I feel like Rule Blazing really has a good song choice in terms of SV. It's really amazing to see what he can make SV. I feel some of the songs don't really, I think, necessarily lend its hand to SV on like first listen, but Rule Blazing always makes it work.
Yeah. By the way, this is a collab between Rule Blazing and How to Play LN.
Oh, haven't seen a How to Play LN map in a while, but now time for SV2, the last SV and the final map in our regular map pool. Trust It by Alcome. That's not how you say it. It's close enough.
I think so. Well, we can accept it, but this is another custom map by Claren this time. And no, I don't have a custom in this pool anymore. Thank you to all of the SV mappers in this community for providing us very good content. But this is going to be somewhat of a more memo / gimmick oriented kind of pick, and this. In the words of Claren, this intro kind of features LFE style SVs, kind of fake outs that you just have to learn with the music, but this is very intuitive.
Yeah, I definitely agree. We skipped life to the slow jam, so we'll have to practice at least some reading. But this is very, very obviously the song. Oh, I think this is a bit of memo, actually. Maybe it's reading.
Yeah, like this has many reading-oriented elements for sure, but this is way different than All In. All In is very swing-oriented. This is way more straightforward in terms of snaps, but this has way more, I guess, abrasive and strong gimmicks.
Yeah, I think the players that are playing SV are definitely gonna have to listen to this map quite a few times throughout the week just to really remember these like little stops and know when the notes are going to come down exactly.
And in terms of score, we will expect better scores on this pick than in the other pick. Like, I think SV1 is going to be easier to learn somewhat, but this one is going to be harder to learn, but easier to hack. And especially with this gimmick, like the double notes, the double LNs are stopped. The single long notes are normal. This is good. This is the gimmick. You just gotta get used to it. This is actually very hard to execute. I may know this gimmick at the top of my head, but to execute it, you just gotta have a lot of patience and control yourself as an SV player.
actually coming up to the end of the map right now, so who actually played this one?
This is this is an incredibly impressive play by Arcat.
Oh, by Art. Okay, I see. I thought it was Gyoza for a second, just because I feel like Gyoza's been doing quite a few of the really hard plays, but Arcat being a well-known SV player and mapper definitely makes sense.
Yeah,
Now, it's
and
time. It's the time everyone's been waiting for. It's time for SV, or not SV.
SV, yeah, it's time for SV3. Let's go.
SV3! It's time for TV, where it's going to be May by Camellia, or Camellia Remix, map by Saren, I believe.
And
Well, that
yeah,
like
that was
I guess it is SV3.
yeah, I know there's no SV. That was just the BPM selling, I guess.
Yep, and we're struggling quite a bit to find a really good type TV, and I think the map players are quite happy with this one. So that is good to see. This map is 4 minutes and 50 seconds, so a step up from the other maps. I think the longest previously was like 3 minutes and 40 with Take Me Higher. So about a minute or two longer than most of the other maps in the pool.
Yeah, this is 210 BPM as well, and some of those bursts at 210 BPM is gonna substantially rise the physicality of this, and this is what we want to test to make you ramp up to the actual finals.
Yep, and I know star rating really doesn't matter, but just being 6 stars in semifinals TV, that is insane. Really just goes to show how good these players truly are, and just how difficult this future map pool will be.
Let's go for some of the long notes. We saw enough right now. Now we have to separate through the long notes. And 210 BPM is no joke with those patterns. Really have to have a fair amount of control. This is OD 7.9, so you cannot really cheese some of those releases.
Yeah, I was actually about to comment how this is almost ODA with these really difficult long notes just to play. So I think in this sections alone, I think there's another LN section later in the map. We'll see quite a few accuracy drops from people who aren't too comfortable on LN, though. We don't see it from Demi Fiend because it's Demi Fiend.
Yeah, just Demi Fiend. Demi Fiend is not 4-digit.
He is. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I don't remember whether he is right now. I believe so. But we are reaching the halfway point of the map. We get a slight break from all the map that you've played, all 2,800 minutes.
And this actually speeds up.
Ooh.
I haven't actually played this TB. I cannot play TB, so I'm just going by sight reading.
I haven't either.
We sight read the TVs, yeah!
We're such bad testers.
No!
It's fine though. I looked through it in the editor. Yeah, I did see that this map is quite rice filled, so rice teams may have a slight bit of an advantage, but I feel like rice teams really do struggle a lot more on LN teams than LN teams struggle on rice. So that's a slight bit. And now here, jump troll. It's a ranked map, by the way, if you were wondering, so feel free to play it.
Oh, of course it's ranked. That's why it has jump trails.
Yeah, this is a hard map. I actually don't think it is. But here's our second LN section, as I was saying. Definitely a step up from the first half. Instead of it being like, I guess, hand trills and really just jump stream LN, it's a lot more release based, as we see a lot of these staggered releases, really weird snappings. This is a classic for these kind of LN maps.
Yeah, and it is a Camellia tiebreaker after all. Well, kind of a Camellia tiebreaker, so to speak. But yeah, this pretty much has the structure of the Camellia tiebreaker.
Yep. And have we had a Camellia tiebreaker before this? I don't believe.
I think we actually actively tried to avoid Camellia tiebreakers, but we did have New Era, Eclipse's New Era in round 32.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so So 2 Camellia tiebreakers, that's fine. I don't believe we have any more. I can't be very, very wrong. I haven't seen 2. I don't remember the future map rules off the top of my head. But we're coming up to the end of the map. Really, right now it's very, very simple. Previous to this, it was mostly just trails and some speed sections. So you will have to basically be playing any kind of pattern in this map as normal tiebreakers are.
Yeah, and we hope you enjoyed this Mappool as a whole. And this is going to be the end of this showcase, actually.
Woo! Semifinal or quarterfinals is done. Now moving on to semifinals. I'm sorry to see so many teams be eliminated in quarters, but I'm really excited to see these next few teams really duke it out, especially in winners bracket. There are quite a few really, really good matches that I'm excited to watch in both winners and losers. So I'm excited for this next week to come.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of those teams that that went from quarterfinals to semifinals, by the way, commiserations to the countries who have been eliminated, and congratulations to the teams who made it to the semifinals. Yes, you made it to the semifinals. Now you get to play this pool.
Yep. Have to suffer through this one now. Not really suffer. I hope you don't do actually suffer. But I think that is it. I don't have anything else to say unless you do, Left Raj.
Yeah, nah. I feel like this is just gonna be it. Schedules are gonna come soon. We are gonna be announcing in the Discord just as usual. Stay tuned in the Discord. Reschedule as you see fit. As you complain about some of the insane time zones that we are gonna be dealing with. Danny did allude to us that many countries were gonna have 12-hour differences. Good luck scheduling, especially conditionals.
Yes, good luck to those teams. I know it can be a struggle, especially for team tournament. But I believe in y'all. I think y'all can stay up or wake up early, hopefully. But that being said, I think this could be our goodbye.
Yeah, see you on the other side.
Bye.